So welcome everyone, welcome to this webinar, Simplifying DC and Finding New Ways with CurrentOS. We are thrilled to have you all here today. And our hosts are here. So Yannick Neret, who is the president of CurrentOS. And we have a partner of CurrentOS, Virginie Golichev, who is VP Strategic Marketing of Mersenne in the Electrical Power and Control unit. So Mersenne is a partner of CurrentOS, so we thought it was interesting to have both view. CurrentOS is going to introduce itself and a partner's view as well. A few housekeeping details before we move on. So on the next slide, I've laid out some principles. So if you want to have any question, all questions are welcome, of course. Ask them in the chat, and we have kept plenty of time so that we can answer to your question. We will have a discussion at the end after the presentation. This webinar is being recorded, so if you would like to receive a copy, please message us on LinkedIn or directly. And of course, don't forget to follow CurrentOS on LinkedIn. It's a great page to connect with our vibrant DC community. So without further ado, Yannick, let's get started. Over to you.
Thank you, Raphaël. So as a quick introduction, I am Yannick Neret. I am a Schneider Electric employee, but working full-time to be the president of the CurrentOS Foundation. And I'm very happy to have you all with us here. And maybe, Virginie, you can say a few words about yourself before we start.
You're muted. You're muted, Virginie.
So hello, everybody. I'm very happy to share this moment with you and to discuss about DC. So I'm Virginie Golichev. I'm the VP Marketing Strategic for the business unit Electrical Protection and Control at Mersenne. And also Mersenne is also a partner of CurrentOS, working on DC and making the DC community growing.
And maybe, Virginie, if I can add, you are the chair of the marketing committee of CurrentOS. So you are coordinating all our marketing efforts. So you are not owner, you are also a very committed partner and very contributive partner.
Yeah, as well. Yes.
So, guys, let's start. Raphael didn't say, but this is the first of its kind webinar we organize like this. So first, we are extremely happy to have you all here. And please forgive us because as we try, and it's the first of its kind, I hope we will have no issue. But also, we will make a general introduction, and in the future, we will have other webinar that will enter into more details. So let's start with who we are. So the CurrentOS Foundation is 45 plus partners, and I think next time we will make the presentation, we will speak about 50 plus, because I think we are at exactly 48 or 49 partners today. This partnership gather a lot of industry players. And the objective is to have an ecosystem of manufacturers to have DC product available, because there is no possible business without product. We also have universities on board. We also have certification and conformity assessment companies on board. And we are also coordinating with trade groups, as you will discover later. Our goal is to converge as much as we can all the direct current specification, so that in the future we don't have a fragmented market, but we all converge to the same voltage, the same principle, and so on. The CurrentOS Foundation is open and non-discriminatory. It has been founded by Eaton and Schneider Electric 3 years ago. And today, the board members are ABB, Eaton, Schneider, Tridonic, and UL Solutions. Our partners are growing in number, and I'm very happy to name the most recent partner who joined, especially Siemens and EDF. So we are a growing consortium and very happy to work on this exciting change in our electrical distribution principles. Virginie?
So, yes. So to give you a little bit of background, I'm sure everybody knows what is a DC, or perhaps you want to know more about DC. This is the reason why you are here today. So the world is electrifying more and more. Why? Because for two reasons. The primary reason is the increased use of devices and application, and as well the ongoing energy transition. Just to give you a little bit of data, in 2050, electricity consumption reached 18% of the global energy consumption. By 23, this share is estimated to average 20. And in 23, it should reach 30%. Especially because there is also the EAI net zero emission scenario, and according to them, the demand will grow more and more. As well, the energy transition combined with the electrification of various applications has a profound implication for power grid. We must now carefully plan for tomorrow's electric distribution, requiring substantial investment to support this transformation. Up to now, we've been living with electrical solutions where power generation must meet demand. Following this path, alone is inevitably leading the congestion on the public networks. This is evidenced by the increasing delay in the allocation of power points for new buildings and infrastructure. Next, please. Thank you. So our world is electrifying more and more, as I said. And today we can say that we are living in a DC world. Why we are living in a DC world? For several reasons, but first of all, I think there is more and more devices in DC and product developed in DC, like electric vehicle, consumer electronics component and devices, LED lighting and screens. Most energy efficient appliances use variable speed motors, which operates with an internal DC. And any devices with battery are in DC. So we are everywhere. There is DC in your home as well. As well, renewable energy sources are in DC, and the load are in DC. It's a photovoltaic, hydrogen, battery energy. So DC will play a pivotal role in the next decade, as highlighted by IEC committee in its Electricity for the 21st Century report. They said that direct current is a disruptive technology that fundamentally accelerates energy access and improves energy efficiency. So DC is everywhere, and we are living in a DC world. DC presents as well distinct attributes that revolutionize and elevate power distribution. So DC is facilitated precise power adjustment. First, within the grid, by adjusting consumption according to varied power demand and availability, and beyond the DC grid as well, by controlling the supply of excess power to the main grid. In addition to the converter loss reduction of AC-DC converters, since DC-DC converters are more efficient. However, most of electrical standards have been improved over the last decade, more for AC and not for DC. And there is still a gap for the DC distribution. And the DC standards are missing. to seamlessly integrated DC into the DC distribution. There is a work to be done on standard, so that's why there are very few products offered in DC today. And this is also where we are here and why CurrentOS is making the promotion of DC as well. Next, please. So beyond enhanced power distribution, DC also elevates products and services. So DC product and services range will offer improved feature, including precise power for any type of load and application, and not only motor speed. For example, the car charging speed, the hot water production speed. Power control will facilitate the development of innovative features for new use benefits for end users. They can fully leverage renewable with direct DC to DC power transfer. Regenerative power braking, for example, elevator could inject energy in the installation, and transition from public grid to islanded mode is seamless both direction. The DC grid is able to keep operating in any case. There is no temporary power disruption in this installation. The purpose of CurrentOS is to help address the energy transition challenge. One, to integrate renewable energy by design. Secondly, to enhance efficiency, consuming less energy through more efficient power delivery, adjusting to minimize cost, and enabling smart management. This can save 10% on PV array and batteries for same input, not output. The result is CurrentOS ensure continued access to electricity for everyone. It's maximize the use of energy generated from renewable sources while enabling smart power management. CurrentOS ecosystem. So as Yannick explained, this is an ecosystem and there is partner, and our objective is to develop the DC building. So this is just a summary, an example of what we have done already, because we are a partner with Shift2DC, which is a European program with 11 million in funding, deploying direct current. And this is some example of realization, including office building, EV charging station in public park, industrial component, university, data center, and street lighting. Yannick, I think this is the floor is yours, I think.
Yes, thank you, Virginie. So it's very important to mention that we have built a lot of knowledge on real cases and not only on academic and papers or lab work, but it's really real case. All the pictures you have here are sites that are welcoming public people or I would say operating business, but in any case, it's not only demonstrators for labs. So the CurrentOS, it means current operated system. So it's a relation to how we operate our DC grid, and this I would say start to be a bit classical because DC can be easily stabilized with only one parameter, which is the voltage. So we can make totally distributed control microgrid. There is no central brain, no central automation system. The voltage is visible from all the devices, and measuring this voltage, the devices react accordingly. So there are current contributors, there are current consumers, and the behavior of all these devices contributors and consumers is depending on the voltage, which is a consequence of all these current contributions and all these current consumptions. So it's extremely flexible, it's extremely resilient, but also it helps to have a very precise and continuous adjustment. And here is one of the biggest advantage we see in DC. We see a lot of papers saying, well, with DC, we can reduce or improve the efficiency of converter, we save a few percent. But what is absolutely massive is the capability to adjust the power consumption, and due to this, to reduce the impact on the public grid by a factor 3 to 5. So it means minus 66 to minus 80% of power demand on the grid. It has been proven in several of the cases we have seen before. So for the future, this is really the core value that DC can bring to the market. So CurrentOS is driving DC innovation. So we are a kind of think tank, let's say. There are some gaps in the electrical standard. We need to fill these gaps. We can only fill these gaps if we come with knowledge. So we are, I would say, learning from our pilots, learning from the product that have been manufactured by the partners, learning from the project that has been delivered by our partner. CurrentOS is not making any business, but looking at it, learning from it, and promoting it, but also taking it to the standards in order to complete them. Okay. So one of the first priority for CurrentOS is safety. We know that DC has been considered as scary by electricians for decades. Now with power electronics, we have the capability to make DC extremely safe, so to overcome all these issues. And as you know, the electrical standard first concern is also safety. This is why CurrentOS became a liaison A member of the System Committee LVDC of the IEC. So it means that CurrentOS is recognized as an international body capable to deliver proposals and comments on all the IEC work. So CurrentOS is oriented on safety, and this is recognized, and our voice counts at the international standardization bodies. CurrentOS is also working on certification. As I was mentioning before, the voltage is a common signal for all the devices to react accordingly. But how can you make sure that this will work if the smartness, I would say, is distributed to different manufacturers' products? It can only be if a third party can make an assessment and say, okay, this heat pump, this elevator, this fridge, this car charger are interoperable and can be safely plugged together. So the certification scheme is something extremely important in our work, and we expect to have it operational next year and operated by third parties. So again, it will be an open certification scheme operated by very well-known and other big companies according to IEC standards of conformity assessment bodies. So a very important part of CurrentOS. And if I detail a bit what we do, so I mentioned already that we have today 5 management board members. Let's say we would like to have up to 9, because above 9 it's difficult to make decisions. Below 3 or 4, it's not really a group. We want to build consensus. The management board is mainly focused on the administration and the finance of the foundation, and we strongly rely on the working group that totally operate on the consensus. So there is one first working group on the partner relationship. We have a bi-weekly forum 1-hour call where partners can share, exchange, present each other some progress. We also have 3 plenary sessions per year in order to I'm trying to have the pointer, but I don't know how to have it. Okay, so I hope you can see my pointer here. So first here, we have 3 plenary events per year. The last one was in Grenoble in June. Just before it was in Vienna in January. And last year we were in Glasgow in October. Next event will be in September this year, end of September in Bergamo, Italy. And then we will be in Delft in the Netherlands in January, and probably in Tallinn in Estonia in June next year. And maybe, well, this is even further, but probably in California in September 2025. So we organize plenary sessions and we have a forum, and this is the work of the partner relationship. We also have a strong marketing team, thanks to Virginie and Raphael, that made this webinar possible, that made this great slide deck available, but also we have a website, we have a LinkedIn page. I hope that your first action at the end of this webinar will be to join our LinkedIn page. So we are making more and more marketing to first just let know that DC exists. You cannot imagine how many people have just no clue that their laptop work in DC. So we need to, I would say, raise the awareness about DC, but also we need to raise the awareness about the benefits of DC. That are much more than, as I was mentioning before, much more than just DC-DC converters efficiency. On the right side, we have a big technical committee. This technical committee has a lot of subgroups. There is one subgroup on specification. So we deliver to the partner a system reference document. We deliver product specification. We deliver testing specification. And at the moment, we have subgroup working on cable specification, protection device specification, converter specification, and also installation rules certification. Installation rules document. We have a coordination task force in the technical committee. This coordination task force is, I would say, exchanging and cooperating with other similar alliances. There is one in Germany named Open DC Alliance, which is an outcome of the German project DC Industry. They are extremely skilled in manufacturing and industry applications in DC. There is another alliance named Emerge Alliance based in the US. And this Emerge Alliance is also a community we are discussing with. And just to give an idea of one of the first outcome of this cooperation is a convergence on the voltage. We also made with Open DC Alliance already 2 presentations to different IEC groups, joint presentations, so signed by CurrentOS and Open DC Alliance, on the semiconductor circuit breaker and on the installation rules for the future IEC standard. So coordination is very important for us. As I was saying before, we want to have a market that is the least fragmented possible. We want to converge to the same approach as much as we can. And avoid what happened in the past with the 50 Hertz in Europe and the 60 Hertz in America. So it's better to do something right from the first try this time with DC. So consensus around DC is very important. We also, moving to the third workforce of the technical committee, we have a standardization task force. We want to foster adoption of technical principle by the different bodies, and we are a liaison member of the IEC. I explained already that we have a certification scheme committee. This team is extremely skilled. As you know, there are very big conformity assessment company in our partnership. And the leader of this group is the treasurer of the IEC. So again, as much as we can, independent and skilled people leading. From a few months now, we have an extremely active North American committee. So this North American committee first help us to be closer to the North American market. So we have there a team that look for American partners, North American partners. We have a team there that start to work for the future National Electric Code. And at the moment, we are considering to have a full DC compatible National Electric Code in 2029. So it's a long haul work. We are also making specific marketing actions. And for those who are based in North America, there will be a big presence of CurrentOS in RE+ in Anaheim in California in September. There will be also CurrentOS partners in ICDCM in North Carolina in August. So we are also extremely active in North America. Last but not least, the education working group is not yet operational. It will kick off in September this year, because we are at the moment onboarding several universities. If I'm not wrong, we just signed a 6th agreement with a university, and there is the 7th that is very close to sign soon. So this will help to start an education committee to, I would say, to provide MOOC, to provide courses that could help this university to deliver more knowledge to the students. And also, we need to think about training of the professionals, because today all of them are very comfortable in AC, but not so comfortable with DC. So there is a lot to be done around this. So, Virginie, shall I go back to you for this one? Or Raphael, I don't remember.
I think it's Raphael, but I can take it as well.
As you want. So
go ahead.
No, I think it was you, but go.
No,
basically, the slide says it all. No, you want to go ahead, because you're a partner, so you should be talking, Virginie.
Okay, so why join CurrentOS? So I think Yannick explained already all the benefits and advantages and what we are doing at CurrentOS. So we are the leading DC committee. So we are contributing to develop DC product and help the R&D development in each partner. We learn from real business cases, as demonstrated with the Shift to DC Association, etc. We want to influence the design, so you can influence as well if you are joining us. If you are joining CurrentOS, you are influencing the design specification, and you will gain visibility by participating to a prominent pilot project. So you can be part of some project. So real cases again, and develop and learn more about DC and make progress on R&D, on product, etc. By joining CurrentOS, you will develop as well innovative certified product and services. So one of our main goals is to develop the standard and code around DC. Very important to be to have a standard across the world, ideally. So you can develop compliant product with DC, with the certification, CurrentOS certification DC product. Innovate with a new end value proposition, such as adjustable or self-consumption feature, and as well help to accelerate your DC project and the DC and the energy transition. You will be also part of the energy transition and help to accelerate the energy transition by being part of our community. And you get full access to the intellectual property on all the certification and all the tools we are developing as well.
Next one.
This is you, Yannick, or me? I don't know.
So how to join to CurrentOS? It's well, it's not so complicated. As I said, we are open and non-discriminatory. So there is no application, there is no refusal or acceptance. All companies willing to join will join. The only thing is, as just Virginie said, there is intellectual property, and there is also intellectual property risk if we let different partners to prevent others to use the technology or to use the common set of rules and the common interoperability rules. So to join the partner program, there is a partner agreement that need to be signed that provide IP rules to keep all this set of electrical rules, this logo, etc., free of use for all the partners. So this partner agreement is, I would say, a way to secure the community to use all these electrical rules over time. Most of these rules will be granted to all the partners as long as they will be part of the community. So the community is divided now in 4 kinds of partners, I would say. There are companies that manufacture products. These companies can join as bronze if they just make very simple product that just need a voltage information, and also they don't want to involve too much in the works of the foundation. They can join as silver if they want to develop more sophisticated products that contribute to the stability with the distributed control system I mentioned earlier. But also, if this company want to participate to the working group, participate to one of the committee I mentioned before, so this will be silver. And then some company want to really have a leadership in the foundation. They want to, I would say, fund more our work. They want to support us more with more resources, etc. And this is gold partnership. On the left side, there are also companies that are not manufacturing anything, that are just, I would say, providing services around electrical systems. It can be design consultant, it can be electrical installers, it can be testing lab, it can be universities. So very different kind of companies. So as I was mentioning before, the partner agreement is mainly related to IP rules. So here we have only one agreement for this company because I would say the IP rule is just to access all the IP of the foundation, but not to manufacture anything out of these rules, and to agree to let this IP set of rules accessible to all. So this is the Ruby partnership. So I think Prashant mentioned it in the chat already. There is an email, info@currentos.foundation, that reach us directly. From this, we can, well, first detail more what we presented today, but we can also directly provide you the partner agreement. You can also find it on our website. And this is the only way to join and the easy way to join. So I think we are done, Raphael.
Yes, we are. It was a intense and very dense presentation. Now it's time for Q&A. We had one question in the chat that I'll start with. And we have a survey also for you guys. So everyone who is participating today, we have a few questions for you. So the first question we had in the chat was, do we have any intent to have Asian DC community joining us? So it's a very hot topic for you, Yannick.
Well, so to several things. First, we already have Asian partners. We have already Fuji Electric in Japan. We have Minwell in Taiwan. We are in discussion with some consortium in China, some companies in China as well. And we are also interested in following what is happening in Korea, because there is also a lot of movement in Korea. So all this, yes, you are right. I spoke a lot about Europe and North America, but Asia is part of our well, we don't want to exclude anything. We are interested in having a global approach of DC, and having more partnership with Asia will be welcome. We are working on it for different reasons. It's not as advanced as it is with Europe and US, but it will come.
Thank you. We have already another question. So is CurrentOS more targeted to building automation or to industrial automation? Or no automation?
Yeah, in fact, as I was saying, CurrentOS means current operated system. It's about electrical rules. So it's about electrical distribution. And we started to focus more on building electrical distribution for one simple reason. This is the area where there is the least competencies across the engineering consultant, across the maintenance people, across the installer, and where, in fact, the market is the most sequenced. You have one company making the engineering, transferring to another company making the installation, transferring to later another company that will operate the building. So it's where there is first the least competencies and the biggest complexity to articulate all the business. So this is where we need to have extremely careful electrical rules to ensure safety, because also all the visitors in commercial building are totally non-electrical professionals and unskilled. So this is where we need to have the most stringent rules. When these rules will be effective in commercial building, it will be easily applicable to environments where you have a highly skilled engineering office, very 24/7 maintenance team, like we have in industry or like we have in data centers or even in hospitals. So this is why our first focus is commercial application in order to, I would say, make everybody safe.
Thank you. We have, I will jump to this question already. We have a question on the level of voltage. So it's true that we didn't mention that it's low voltage, but
DC already exists with a safety extra low voltage, meaning you all know about 48-volt application. So the question is, what do we do above? And today in CurrentOS, we have described 3 voltage bands, and I speak about bands. And I will name this band by one value, which is a nominal value in the middle of the band, but it's really about a band. So we have a 350 volt band that will be more used in, I would say, the accessible space of a commercial building. In DC, from one band to another, you multiply by 2. Unlike in AC, where you multiply by square root 3, in DC, you multiply by 2. So we have a 700 volt band. That is more for power application. This will be used to power rooftop heat pumps or machines in a workshop. And then we also have another double, which will be 1400 volt band. So it will be just below the 1500 volt DC limit of the low voltage. And this 1400 volt band will be used for very high power application. Especially, I'm thinking about truck charging or megawatt charging, as we name it also sometime. So 3 band, 350, 700, 1400.
Cool, thank you. I have a question that I will maybe need your help, Wilfred Ackerboom, on this. You are asking, why should DSOs join current OS. And I'm not sure of the meaning of DSOs, but maybe
Yes,
everyone.
I will take it, Raphael.
Okay,
just one last word back on the voltage.
Sorry.
What current OS is trying to do is to make installations, multi-vendor installation, not applications. So this is why we need to make choices on the voltage where a lot of applications can connect to. Obviously, you will always have one application where 1085 volt is the optimum. But this is not a multi-vendor solution. This is not a multi-vendor application installation. Sorry, it's an application. So think about that. Current OS want to make multi-vendor solution. Now, why would a DSO join current OS? In fact, today, most of the DSO encounter already congestion issues. These congestion issues are due to the fact that EV charging is growing very fast. All the digital applications are going fast. There are a lot of incentive to move to heat pump instead of gas heating. So more and more power demand. And unfortunately, this power demand never come at the same time that we have the generation coming from renewable sources. Your PV is producing the most in the day when the sun is high, and you need to charge your car when you are back from the office. So all this make that DSOs are struggling to deliver all the power. So we are not in an energy crisis. We are in a supply and demand crunch. So definitely, we absolutely need to find a solution here, and this is where our DC solution can help. Now, the DSO not only see issues and could find solution here, but we need to think about the next step. How will they commercialize the DC? Will they sell DC or above the meter, I would say, or will the conversion AC to DC will be done behind the meter? Is there different business models? So all these things can be discussed, can be exchanged, can be, as I was saying before, we are a think tank, so we can think about it together. And I think DSOs can be extremely valuable here. And you probably mentioned that EDF is now part of our EDF R&D is now part of our community.
Cool, thank you. We have another question. Which are the types of products which are immediately needed to build and test box, which should create momentum around the DC approach? Broad question.
Yeah. So today we have already enough product to make, I would say, an EV charging installation combined with lighting, combined with local generation and connection to the grid. So we have everything, our partners have everything to do, PV generation, battery storage, distribution, cabling, storage, electrical charging, lighting. We are working and we are, I think, very close to have much more. And in the next weeks, you will see joining a company making elevators, making heat pumps. So this will give us the capability to make a full building.
Cool. So related to this, can CurrentOS start collecting a list of equipment that are ready for DC? Do we already have a list of equipment that is ready for DC certified? HVAC, plug, load distribution gear, lighting, EV, DC charging cabinets, etc.
Yeah. So for the moment, you can only figure out the product we have from the name of the company that are in the consortium. We cannot have formally a list. As I mentioned before, we need to be non-discriminatory. And to be non-discriminatory, we need to have clear criteria. So we are working on a certification scheme. Next year, this certification scheme will be operated, and you will find a list of certified products. As long as we cannot certify that this product from this company is consistent, is compatible or not, let's say you can only see that, for instance, AmpereNext is doing EV charger or Ambibox is doing EV chargers. and Tridonic is making LED drivers. But we cannot today list you the product from Tridonic or the product from AmpereNext that are CurrentOS compatible. They have, but we cannot, as a non-discriminatory body, we cannot say this product is good.
Not yet. Another question, how can someone participate in the upcoming events of CurrentOS, for example, the next meeting in Bergamo?
So all the partners are invited to the next meeting in Bergamo. So this is a community event. This is a partner event. So how to join to Bergamo? Just sign the partner agreement and you will be invited.
Join us, join us. We have a question. Has anyone heard of the new US NEC standard for class 4 fault management power systems? Does it have any relevance in Europe, EMEA, with the different standards for ELV versus low voltage DC?
So yes, we know, we have heard about it, and there is a famous company doing this kind of product that is in discussion to join our foundation. I would say this is complementary with what we do. The class 4 FMPS solution is more a final distribution system. It's more unidirectional to power lighting system or to power loads, especially in North America where the power cable need to be below metal conduits. So going to FMPS can help to avoid these metal conduits. But when it comes to high power distribution, we need something that is more, I would say, electrical and less digital. And here we are very complementary.
Wonderful. Another question, very broad, different topic. Is there a team already dedicated to training professionals on DC technology?
So this is exactly the role of the education committee that we will kick off in September in Bergamo. So it's not yet operational. Still, we are doing some experiments. We have done already some courses in Politecnico di Milano because there are some Italians in our team that had a good relationship with Politecnico di Milano. But at this moment, it's just one of its kind. We need to, through this education committee, we need to do more, and we need to do something that is available to all. This is what we will start in September.
Great, thank you. We have a few questions for you. Do you mind taking your phones and going on the next screen? We will ask you to scan this QR code. We have two questions for you guys. So Yannick, I need you to change for the next slide.
Yes, sorry. I was preparing my phone.
So grab your phone, scan this QR code. In case it doesn't work, you can also go on the website. It's called menti.com. And on this QR code, you will normally arrive to two questions. And can you fill them in? And if we get your answers live, they will appear on the next slide right after you've started answering.
So, okay, you want me to go to the next slide? No.
Not yet. Let people maybe take their phone and they can start answering, and let's wait 1 minute to see the answers appearing, making sure everyone has their phone ready. Okay, maybe you can move now to the next slide and we will see the answers appearing. If anyone didn't have time, we can go back and show the slide. It is not working on your slide. That's the joy of live webinars.
It will come. No? It's very hot today in Grenoble, so this is why it takes time.
It's working. So we have a lot of R&D on around the table today, and energy transition challenges, which is everyone's concerns actually.
Very good, very good.
And there is another question. So maybe if you move on to the next slide, we will see it coming. So after you've answered to the first question, you will see the second, which is your interest for our next webinars, because of course we want to do more of these and we want to do more targeted, maybe some more technical webinars, maybe some more use case webinar or oriented use case webinar. Let us know.
Back to the it is in the same QR code.
And I don't see the second question on
You
the.
don't see the second question. Okay, I don't know what it seems to happen. You don't seem to have made a choice. Yeah, I need to do a choice. Submit.
So
It's
maybe
not
we.
going. Okay, so we will stay on the first one. Maybe can you write in the chat?
Yes.
The question was, among this list of webinars, so it's a bit tiny, sorry. What is the type of interest that you would see? You can select all of them. You can select one, you can select two. So are you into technical webinars, for example, current OS set of rules or the voltage definitions, learning about group controls? Another technical webinar could be the DC zones and electrical protection. We mentioned them very briefly today.
So that's only technical ideas, and maybe there are some missing here, Raphael, but we can also work on.
Something is not working well. I don't know what to do.
We can
the question is missing. We don't see the question.
We have a few more options that don't appear, so I'm trying to see.
So,
live.
So the question is missing. So what we want you is to put in the chat what you would like to have in the next webinar. What we have on the screen at the moment is just ideas of technical topics we could address, but it's not only about technical topics. We could also speak about use cases. We could also speak about the learning we got from our pilots and the benefits of DC. We could also speak about marketing of DC, about different applications. So very open, feel free to put whatever you have in mind and whatever you would like us to speak about in the next sessions.
So can you see this list of questions on my screen now? We are trying to find a temporary solution. So we have some technical ideas, but we also have some more use case oriented marketing ideas, how to join current OS ideas. So let us know what you would like in the chat, and we will collect this and have a build seminars accordingly.
Any case, you can also write to the foundation and I mean in the LinkedIn page and ask for specific topic you would like us to address. So yeah.
Okay, so I see.
It was a bit
voltage, group control.
Yeah.
Use cases, zone and protection. Thank you guys. This is very interesting for us to help us build the fall webinars.
Yes.
Today it was a bit open loop, as we say in R&D. So we just made our first slide deck, but definitely we want to be at your service in the future and really address your concerns. So please help us to do.
We are always accessible also on our LinkedIn page. You can always send us direct messages there. We answer quite promptly. We have a current OS email, of course. I will share them back again here. So please, oops, I need to keep this here. Please don't hesitate to revert to us directly. We are really here to help. And if you want to join, of course, send us a message, give us an email. You can even leave your email here in the chat today, and we will get back to you immediately. Thanks for the positive feedback. Happy to have you today with us and to see the DC community growing day by day. Yes, this is the correct email, info@currentos.foundation.
Thank you very much, everybody, to be there. It was very interesting.
Foundation is CurrentOS. CurrentOS is a non-profit foundation. So when we say the foundation, we are talking about CurrentOS. CurrentOS is not a corporation, it's a foundation because we are non-profit. We are here to develop.
And as we are third in Amsterdam, Netherlands. In fact, the official word is stichting, that translates into foundation. But in some other country, we would say alliance, we would say a non-profit organization or whatever. So this is us. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Very
Thank
much
you.
for your time.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.